Hey everybody, what's up and welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping by. Our background looks a little bit different today, and that's because I just kind of flip-flopped from looking that way in the room to now facing this way. So of course, obviously, you know that this is still my beauty room because there's some Disney magic in here. And so yeah, just kind of wanted to change it up. One of you had mentioned it looked a little cozier on this side from when I did my pumpkin spice demo. And so I thought, you know what? Let's just see how it works on this side of the room. You let me know in the comment section below how you like it and we'll go from there. So as you could tell by the title of this video, today is our August eyeshadow palette extravaganza. It is already September. I've got 5 palettes to share with you that I did pick up in the month of August. Those of you who know me already know eyeshadow palettes are my favorite thing. If you don't already know me and you are new to my channel, well, eyeshadow palettes are my favorite thing. I love buying eyeshadow palettes. It's what I buy the most. Now, granted, yes, will I ever go through all of these eyeshadow palettes in my lifetime? No, but it's the fun of just using them and being able to interchange them, and just, it's something about eyeshadow really speaks to me. And I got 5, like I said, for the month of August. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and start with the Colourpop ones. Now, 4 out of 5, I do have little mini reviews for you on, but one of them I have not yet used yet. When we get to that one, I'll tell you which one it is. But let's go ahead and start off with the Colourpop Garden Variety Palette. So I have been very excited that Colourpop has kind of picked up, gained momentum, regained their speed in releasing palettes. But I have a thought for you on that. First off on this, let's go ahead and go into the packaging, which I think is this is probably the prettiest packaging I have ever seen them come out with. Like, the flowers are like, I don't know how to even describe them to you. They're obviously raised, they're glossy. It's just very pretty. It almost reminds me of artwork on a canvas. You know how some areas are a little bit more raised than others, a little more glossy, and that's what this reminds me of. I will tell you that I do love that this palette has multiple shades of the metallic formula that I love from Colourpop, but I will also tell you that the mattes I don't like as much in this palette as I have in prior palettes, and I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, the past few Colourpop releases have made me wonder, like, did the whole shutdown cause Colourpop to take a step back, or what's the deal? Because I haven't found the formula to really be the same. Maybe I'm totally tripping. Maybe I'm losing it. I don't know. Maybe it's just the mattes. But truly, I don't know, like, there's some I like and then there's a lot that I really don't. Again, the mattes I found very difficult to work with in this palette. Dry, chalky, and quite frankly, if I blend them, they start creating a bald spot and I have to really pack them on, just kind of pat them on if I want any kind of opacity. So anyways, there's that. But as usual, the metallics are very pretty. I do enjoy using those, and this green, excuse me, this green I was wearing in an Instagram photo, and I was just like, I had taken a selfie and I'm like, man, my eyeshadow looks good, my makeup looks good. And it was this green shade right here. So obviously Colourpop knows how to do metallics right. They honestly know how to do mattes right too. It's just that I don't know. I don't know. Yes, pretty, but I'm just not sure. I haven't been super over the moon over their last few, and this was no exception. Overall though, for the price point, still you can't beat it. This was 18 bucks, and yeah, I was glad to have picked it up. It's just not one of the ones that strikes my fancy as much as others. I also ended up getting the Lilac You A Lot palette. If you're anything like me and you add something in your bag and it sticks in your craw to have to pay for shipping, you will add something else to your bag. You'll pay more doing it that way, but then, hey, at least you don't have to pay for shipping, right? Gets me every time on the Shop Disney website, I'm just gonna tell you. So this palette I have been wanting for a very long time, so it was a given that I just pick it up with the Garden Variety palette, and it comes just as I had anticipated, based on the pictures I'd seen online, based on videos I had seen, and this one is very, very pretty. I know a couple of you had said this is your favorite from the Colourpop lineup, and I can definitely see why. So truly, again, no surprise to me. I own most of their monochromatic eyeshadow palettes, and so I was already expecting it to look like this, to perform like this, and this one did I guess, perform very well. I mean, based on my expectations. So very, very pretty. You know, one thing I haven't done, and I've had this obviously all month, I haven't compared it to the, not the Ooh La La, but the one that has chiclet in it. I love that palette. You know how there's a pink and there's a purple? Why can't I think of that name? Anyways, I'm curious to compare and see how much there is as far as similarity, but I feel like I remember thinking there wasn't as much, and that's why I wanted to pick this one up. Anyways, I'm just kind of thinking on my own over here, total squirrel moment. But yeah, picked this one up for, I think it was $12, and that was during the month of August. I had to pick it up to get that free shipping. Okay, let me wipe down my hand a little bit and let's move on to the next palette. So this one I purchased early on in the month when it released at Sephora. I think it was like August 3rd or something, and I can't even tell you how much I loved this. This is the Caliente palette by Artist Couture. I love everything about it, from the aesthetic, from the way it looks in its color scheme, to the nice slim like packaging, rounded edges, just all around a good palette. This one was $30. I didn't give you shelf life for the Colourpop. I don't usually go into that much detail in these videos as far as that goes. But real quick, as far as the Caliente palette, I have already done a dedicated video to this, so you can find that on my channel, but it does have a 12-month shelf life and it is made in the USA. So this palette was everything I was hoping it would be, and it was just, I mean, every bit as vibrant as I had hoped, because a lot of times you see pictures or you watch videos and you're like, I don't know, the saturation in the camera, I don't know, maybe it's making it look more vibrant than it is. But no, this one truly is vibrant. It's absolutely stunning. So okay, with 8 shades, you're limited on what you can do, but I almost like that because then it kind of takes the decision work out of it for you, where you're like not sitting there for 10 minutes wondering, what do I want to combine today? No, this kind of just makes it so much simpler, but it is so summer. It packs a punch. It's absolutely stunning. I truly love this palette. The only thing I'm going to tell you, there were a couple of shades which were, which one was it? It was Fuego and Mamacita, that are so dry and rough and not as opaque. Like, one layer does not do it. I don't know why they are so stiff, but let's see if this sound will come across on camera. I hope so. Do you hear that? That's crazy. I should have a whole lot more on my finger right now than what I do, based on how hard I dug in there, based on the sound you just heard. It sounds like sandpaper. They are both like that, and I don't know if mine is just like that or if other people have had that issue. Anyways, that being said, that wasn't a deal breaker for me. I love this palette. And so it's just it's everything you would want in a summer eyeshadow palette. And that was good enough for me. Now you're gonna see even the swatches tell the story right here. Yeah, those two are not the best performing, and sadly, Fuego is my very favorite shade in the palette. It's beautiful. So it just takes a little bit of work, but ultimately the end result is completely worth it. But yeah, I just have never come across as dry of an eyeshadow as that, and I'm just like, what happened there? All right, so moving on, now it's time for the pumpkin spice palette. Let's talk about that one. So this was kind of a given that I was going to pick this one up, because I always look forward to that very first release that basically kicks off the holiday makeup season. And this was it. This is typically it. Too Faced typically does the launch, the very first release of the season, every single year, it seems like. Obviously last year with the gingerbread, spicy, extra spicy, something like that. And then the one before was gingerbread. Anyways, so this for me was kind of like already I'm gonna pick it up. But in addition to that, the stock photos had looked like a bit of a variance from what we've seen in prior years. And I was just like, regardless, I'm gonna get this. Based on the year we've had, I need some fall/holiday vibes in my life at the moment. Who cares that it's a heat index of like 108 degrees outside? I still want fall vibes. I still want everything pumpkin pie, everything pumpkin related. So this is what this bad boy looks like. You may have already seen my review on this that I posted before this video, but it is a tin type of packaging, just like you're used to from the last few years, and this is what it looks like on the inside. I was drawn in because the metallic standout shades of this palette are different from what we have seen in prior years. I mean, at the end of the day, there is going to be repetition. Yes, Too Faced is known for repeating and repackaging and stuff like that, but truly, at the end of the day, what brand is going to do something so unique that you haven't seen it before? It's rare. I know Pat McGrath and Natasha Denona have recently done those like triochrome shadows, which it's my understanding have been done before by smaller brands. I don't know, but that was new to me. But aside from like unique things like that, there really isn't much. I mean, that it hasn't been done. Neutrals have been done, neons have been done, standout metallic shades of it, like it's all been done. So quite frankly, this was totally fine for me to get. Like in my mind, I'm like, it's okay because I like the layout of the shades. I like that I've got pops, but I've also got neutrals. And I like that those metallic standout shades are different from what we've seen in prior years. For me, it was kind of a win-win. Overall, I like this palette. I wouldn't rate it number 1 on my list of favorite Too Faced holiday releases ever. That one is still held by the Gingerbread palette. But quite frankly, it is a very, very, very good, decent standalone palette. I like it very, very much. The chunky shades, so the metallic shades, they're very, very chunky, which is, these are 2 of the metallic shades. This one is a satin, this one's a matte. So the very metallic high shine shades are extremely chunky. They just kind of crumble. You have to use your finger or you will be so frustrated. You will spend so much unnecessary time trying to pack these shades onto your lids if you don't use a finger or don't use a wet brush, but I still prefer to use a finger because I feel like you use more when you use a brush. You just get it done easier and quicker when you use your finger. That's just a fact. But that being said, they are very high shine metallic, and again, different from what you've seen the shades to be in prior Too Faced holiday palettes. So it was $49. I thought it was it was a win in my book. I liked it very, very much, and I see myself using this quite a bit from now, at least until the next holiday release. But overall, I really like this palette. So a couple of things, just like the Colourpop, these 2 shades right here, which are You Spicy and Warm and Cozy. Those 2 mattes are also the type that if you blend a little too much, they go bald. You kind of have to pack them on and just kind of place them where you want them. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. And those were really the only 2 kind of duds of the palette for me. Everything else I thoroughly enjoyed. And in fact, the highly neutral shades, so basically what I consider everything this side of the palette, super buttery, super easy to blend, build, just absolutely lovely. I'm happy with this, and I was very glad I picked it up, and I'm glad that Too Faced did a pumpkin spice type of theme. I think it was time for one. All right, my friends, we are down to the last palette. So this palette is one I don't have a little review for you because I haven't even used it. To be honest, I haven't even swatched it. Now, I did do a little bit of a Sephora haul. It wasn't very massive, and I have not yet done that for my channel. I'm kind of debating because it's only like 6 or 7 things, but this was one of them. It was during the whole welcome back promotion by Sephora, where if you spent 100, you got 20 off. And so I figured, I mean, okay, like that's too good of a deal to pass up. But anyways, Fenty came out with a couple of new palettes in their little Snap Shadows lineup. I don't own any of these. I didn't anyways. And this was one that the color story totally called my name. And if you know me well enough, then you have guessed which one this is by now. And it is the Money palette, which is the green palette. I am huge on green eyeshadows and like plum eyeshadows because they make my eye color pop. So when I see something like this, I am immediately drawn in, and this one was no exception. I've heard mixed reviews about these little Snap Shadow palettes, but I figured I would take a chance on this one. And yeah, I have not swatched it. So let's go ahead and take a swatchy swatch. Ooh, these feel kind of nice. Maybe these, so I think these are limited edition, these last 2 that she came out with, at least that's what it said on the Sephora website. So maybe these are a better formula than her regular ones. I don't know. Again, Not having used the others, it's hard for me to be able to really compare and tell you, what they feel like compared to the others, but they feel kind of nice. I'm excited to use them. I bought one of the Triochrome shadows by Natasha Denona. I bought Scarab, and I think it's gonna pair so perfectly with this palette. I am very, very excited to pair them together, but we'll see. Hopefully this is a good one. I mean, it's nice and compact, and again, I love the green theme. All right, friends, thank you so much for just kind of sitting down, chatting some makeup with me, talking about eyeshadows. Seems like I do these so repeatedly. It's once a month, feels more often, and I guess it's because time really is going by fast, even though I can honestly say that the last few months for me have just kind of dragged. But anyways, that being said, total off topic, but I did want to give you a quick verse of the day just to motivate you, to encourage you, to tell you that Jesus loves you so, so much. If you are in a place of kind of just anxiety, maybe from everything that's going on, you can just take rest in him. It's so amazing. I can't even tell you these last few months, mentally and just in general, what I would have done without him. Just, he is so amazing. He's the perfect gentleman, and I love being able to impart some encouragement through you via a Bible verse. So today's comes from 1 Thessalonians 5:8, and it says, "Let us be self-controlled, putting on faith and love as a breastplate, and the hope of salvation as a helmet." I just want to ask you, do you have the hope of salvation? Do you already know Jesus as your Lord and Savior? If you don't, I'm not trying to shove him down your throat. That is a decision you'd completely have to make for yourself. I just want you to know how much he loves you, how much he would just give up everything to come and die for you, even if it was just you. That's how special you are. You are beautiful, and he made you so unique, so special. And if you don't already know him as your Savior and your very best friend, it is my prayer that you do come to know him and just experience how amazing he really can be. All right, my friends, thank you so much for just kind of, like I said, chatting makeup with me today. I always enjoy the moments we have together, and I will see you in the very next video. Until then, stay safe, stay well. I love each and every one of you. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.